My life before Ryan, I was right around like 20 years old when we were matched, and so I saw actually an advertisement. It was Wednesday's Child, used to be on 21 Alive, right on the news station. I saw that, and those were the days where it was before text messaging and cell phones, all that kind of stuff. That's when you pick up the phone and call big brothers, big sisters.
Life before Vince was, I was a young boy, into sports, into outdoors, into fishing. Spent a lot of time at the lake with my grandparents.
Ryan was 7 when we were matched. As I got there and then introduced, we sat with the caseworker of the family, Kristen and Bonnie, his mom, Bonnie.
So we get introduced, had some conversations with the agency. I remember Vince coming out. First impression, obviously Vince is a very tall statured guy, so I was like, wow, he's tall, he's a big guy.
There was a time in there that we were going to separate a little bit, and I was going to go with Ryan, and the caseworker was going to talk to Bonnie and Kristen, and all of a sudden Ryan disappears. Couldn't find him. He was in the closet, in his mom's closet, and because he was just afraid of going going away or something. And so I said, well, why don't we just go outside and throw a ball around or something like that? And so we did that for a little bit. At a certain point, Ryan said, hey, you want to go get a hot dog? So we went to this hot dog place. It was not too far from where he lived.
Just subtle conversation and warming up and
just kind of exploring, each other a little bit without anybody around, which was pretty amazing. After he had been crying and then hiding in the closet.
It's amazing how we went from that to him being very instrumental in just being there in the background. Sorry. It gets me emotional thinking about it. Anyhow, my mom had a plan, and she recognized obviously that there was a piece missing, or I needed something.
It was important for Bonnie to have some help. Ryan lost his dad, and not that I was trying to replace that, but she knew that there was something about Ryan's life that he's going to need another adult in addition to his uncles and his grandfather and all the other men in his life, the coaches and all those guys that were around, that she really wanted someone else outside of all that to be just for Ryan.
I think that support staff for the parent is important too, because then they don't feel like they're letting their kids down.
It deepened over the years because, naturally we're getting older, it's more mature, and the relationship matures a little bit. And it was always a lot of fun. We always had a lot of fun. We kind of built our relationship around not only being together and enjoying each other's companionship, but also then, the sporting things that we did.
Vince was very athletic. And so that resonated with me I love sports. I love a team atmosphere, competition. Just thinking, okay, this is a guy that I'm going to be able to relate with, and do fun things together, experience those things together. We really just hit it off from interest level base right off the bat.
Some of the photos that I brought along, I was looking at recently actually, was I think the teacher actually asked me to come along to this. Was a class trip. I think it was around 5th grade, somewhere along there, a class trip up to Camp Potawatomi, and Ryan talked about those guys and the people in his class a lot. So it was kind of fun to be a part of that and to actually see the guys, see the people that were involved in it too. So this is one of my favorite pictures because it's Ryan taking the picture of me and a couple of his classmates at down at the waterfront. It was pretty awesome. He liked to do a lot of the things that I like to do, and so photography is important to me, and so he grabbed on the camera and decided that's a good shot he wanted to take.
I've never had a biological brother, but at the same time it felt like he was my brother or part of the family. I remember spending a lot of time with his parents and brothers and sisters, and that was a very welcoming feeling as well. So, the dynamic of just one-on-one was expanded into, you're almost getting dropped into a whole nother set of relationships to build that network around you of influence.
It's a life-changing experience when we commit ourselves to other people.
Thinking about my life and what I was doing in my early 20s and relative to what Vince committed to do at that time, on reflection, was very courageous, very brave.
So one of the trips we came up for the weekend or whatever it was. I'm not sure why we decided we wanted to go fishing, but you decided actually you wanted to go fishing. And what was the boat again? I remember the
That was
boat.
the old Viking fishing boat.
Right.
Yeah.
You took us out. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
So you were old enough to drive it.
Yeah, and I was bound to determine we were going to go in the lily pads, which was probably not the best place to go during the
For
day.
fishing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
Yeah.
the best thing.
But yeah, it was fun.
How long? Do you remember how long we were out there?
I don't. I'm sure it was a heck of a lot longer than you wanted to be there.
It probably was like a half an hour because you were competitive enough that you didn't really, since you didn't catch anything, we were like, let's get.
Yeah,
You were
we're
like,
done. Move on.
Oh yeah, I can't be out here that long, but it seemed like hours when I remember it. You couldn't take it. We can't sit here. We're not getting any fish. We're
not
gonna get out of
winning.
here. Yeah,
We're not winning.
that's right. That's exactly right.
As a little brother, it was impactful at the time. As an adult, and I reflect back on that, priceless.